righty, people. Here I am. Welcome in Studio 10 Broadcasting. Some guitar licks. Maybe someone can let me know who they're by. Anyway, Studio 10, 10 o'clock talks. We have an America in crisis, and they just continue to throw it in our face. Well, we're going to talk about all that shortly. We'll let this get shared for a minute. Excuse me. Wow, thank you everybody for all the viewings last week. Incredible numbers, man. Incredible numbers. All right. I'll let you guys tell me who that opening lead was by, if anybody feels like it. Anyway, so yeah, let's get this shared out there. If you can help with that, I greatly appreciate it. I want to thank all the admins, all the patriots worldwide, globally, man. Thank you, man. Everybody for, supporting, getting us into the thousands of views. It's really incredible. And I'm so happy to offer any information on this platform to everybody at no charge to you. All you have to do is put up with me a little bit. So kids, if mom and dad's outside, let them know Michael Anthony's on now. We'll give it another 30 seconds or so, and we'll start the show. Man, it doesn't end. I'm seeing it in all your hearts and in your minds, your thoughts, your postings. This is just crazy stuff, man. It really is. All right, let me just do. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to verify. I don't like not to verify, especially when they're not treating me very nicely here. That's why I got to rely on you guys to do the best. Yeah, we are live. Okay. All right. The show. So, hey, we got Jen, beautiful Jen. All right, let me turn down my reverb here. All right, I got the mini monitor up, man. We want to go strong. We're going to honk for freedom. We're going to honk to fight. We're going to fight for freedom. This is crazy what they're doing here. And America is more than in crisis, and it's a disaster. I mean, I know we're fighting on every level the best we can. Tom, Vicky, how are you? I'm just going to say Vicky because I don't know if it's Tom. I don't know if it's Vicky. Hey, y'all. How you doing? And I mean that respectfully. I'm sorry. I'm trying to just put a little humor out there for you guys just for a minute. That's all. All right. So I got some things that I put together the last couple of days. It's just, oh, there you go. Good evening, Gary. How are you? Hello, my favorite patriots. Hello, my favorite sidekick. You're not really doing anything, Jen. Why don't you just come and hang out with me? I mean, I may talk more than you, but that's all good. So listen, guys, here's what I need. I know you guys really do support well to everything going on. And I mean, we're getting into the thousands of views, and that's just like really incredible. But, people tend to come and search for information when more narrative affects our lives, and we have a lot of them here. We really do. All right, so let me get to my page here, see where I'm at. Excuse me, I got like the frog going on. If anybody knows what I'm not a frog man, but I do know some. So okay, we got huge fairs in Washington. So to me, maybe this is part of why we're going through some scenarios that we are. And part of this is that because, and truthfully, this is a laptop indictment issue, and a narrative is always necessary to change the element of disguise of the true problem. And when you control the media and the media vaccination, then they can correlate around things because in one way, there's a demise to come when you really think about this. When you do things that attack the children, especially the children. And it wasn't enough talking about the cures that they want everybody to have now and further into the future, like every 6 months that no one will allow them to do. But, this is how we get kicked back in the face if they throw it back in our face. Hey, Jason Paul Arnold, how are you, brother? Thank you for coming in. Beth McCord's on. Hey, so Beth, I guess you're going to be out sharing. And I want everybody to know Beth is like a diamond in the rough here at Studio 10 Broadcasting, just like Jen Woodruff. She's always a sidekick guest with me, and Beth has been as well. So always remember who they are. They are part, and you guys are as well. Any one of you are welcome to come on here if you ever want to sit down, talk, or just call in. Send me a yell at. I'll get you in. We'll talk. We'll narrate through some of what's going on in America. We'll make theories on it. And we can all think of suggestions to help people. One of the things that I do want to bring up to everybody is the Gerber recipe, okay? Because they're sending all the Infamil, Similac, and baby foods to the border. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is not a joke. This comes from high up in Washington. The information with some intel from people at the border were sending cases, I'm sorry, not even, well, they were cases stacked upon pallets everywhere being shipped. Okay. But anyway, in reflection to that, Vivian, April Dawn, a few other people, and hello, my Patriot brother, Terry Anderson. How are you, man? Oh, great show last night. Great show, man. Rock stardom. Listen, there's ways to make your own. So please share out the news on what people can do, because you can make your own formula. I even forgot about it. It got sent to me, but I want you guys to know. Beth, Joe, Twiggers will be able to get it out. We need to get this posted up for the younger people that are maybe like thinking right now, oh my God, because they're also capping you. When you go to Walmart, and if you walk up with, say, 6 containers of Similac, you're not going to be able to buy them. Okay, there's a cap. And I don't know if it's 1 or 2. I was hearing 2. Now I'm hearing 1, but I really don't know. I can't weigh in any information to that. But I mean, look, we got to take care of the children. There's a lot of good moms, grandmas, grandpaps out there who can help. So if you have any recipes, if you come across anything that can help some of our children's children, let's get this stuff posted. All right. This is how we fight back together. All for one and one for all was when we give information out that's going to help the United States of America, but maybe even bigger, because we're not going to worry about all these global other issues that are stopping us. This is where we prevail. This is how we come across. And remember, your gardens, the things that you need to do that will help, and donate to your neighbors if they have babies. Try to grow something that you normally wouldn't grow. Don't babies eat carrots and peas and stuff? Put in a little extra spot. Do something good for everybody. Kimberly, wow, I haven't seen you in some time. Well, that's not true. We talk a lot off and on. Hey, Dave Groves is on. I was for a minute. I'm sorry. Hi, Dave. How are you, brother? I thought I misread that, and I was talking about Dave Glovin. He does Boogie with the Bull. But nevertheless, that's another show you guys can watch. I know not every show's for everybody, but when it came up, it popped up so fast on my screen. I thought it was from Dave Glovin, but it's David Groves. And I welcome you in, brother. How are you, man? Jason Paul Arnold, Cosmo. Yeah, I mean, this is what's important. There's goat milk too, correct? I mean, are there not other ways that we could be productive in America to help out the young right now? And I think we need to do that. We need to stand strong, because these people are freaking pushing stuff in our face, and we're not going to tolerate it anymore. Remember, this is a deception of when there is something really big going on that we have them by their balls on. And excuse the French here, but I was only talking about balls. But the truth of the matter is, we can help. We can support each other. Now, these recipes, if they need special jars, I don't know about everything of every aspect. I talk a lot of shit, I'll tell you that, about a lot of stuff. But I enjoy that. I enjoy, these things that bring them in, just like the Gerber recipe. I think it was 2 tablespoons of Caro in it. There was like sweet evaporated milk, and then you used 20 ounces of water with it, and then you lined up your 6-ounce bottles. And so anyway, maybe actually if Vivian comes on, or if somebody else has it, they have a way to put up America Disclosing Uncensored and take you to the recipe. Share it out everywhere, because this is where we're not going to tolerate when they suppress us. Because when you're attacking a child, and one of the other things I want to say here, all right, because this is an attack to a child, a hunger attack. If I don't care if your child's not hungry and you can't get food, go to that emergency room at the hospital and say, well, what's wrong with the kid? He's starving. Your healthcare provider is going to have to provide you with something. Well, that's the law. That's why you pay. It's a contract. They cannot they cannot deceive you. They do. They will. Look what we've been through for the last period of time. I mean, it's all been a deception, a narration, a control method. But it doesn't mean that you cannot go there and say, my child's starving. You know, what are they going to do? Right? Yeah. Well, we don't give formula. Well, it's starving. There's a medical issue here. If you need to do it and you need to go to those measures somewhere on this global area of Earth, go do it. Whatever it takes to make a difference the best way you can. All right, these COVID pills too. Let's talk about this thing just for a second. Wait, let me go back to this. I apologize, guys. Jen Woodruff, 1 can full fat evaporated milk, 2 tablespoons of black strap molasses, and warm water. All right, there's another great recipe. All right, these are things that we need to know about, man. How do we get this stuff to the kids? Jen, you're a rock star. I love you to death, girl. I really do. But I love your whole family. I love your husband. I love the kids. All my love to you guys. Prayers to everybody out there that way. And appreciate all the support. Julie, how are you? Thank you for stepping in and checking us out here at Studio 10 O'Clock Talks America in crisis. There's no other way to put it. And they're kicking it and throwing it right back in our face. Every time we get ahead, something else happens. And hey, while we're talking ahead, and this is not a joke kind of thing. I know that may be a terminology. Someone's going to think it's something else is coming out of this kid's mouth. No. Sidney Powell and Mayor Giuliani won the Dominion lawsuit. All right. So now will they reverse the narrative and go after Dominion? Because they were on, this was a big litigation. They were trying to take these people's lives from them. Well, it didn't work. Okay. That news broke out late last night. I was told to come out this afternoon, but honestly, no, I had it posted way early. And I'm not saying I do better than anybody else. I don't remember how I got the information, but it's from you guys, all you rock stars out there. All right, nourishing. Jen Woodruff is also, and one of these things, she's also always posting. Make Jen your friend, and I mean that. And also Deborah. Deborah's really a great person. All right, Christian girl. They do things. They feed homeless. Jen's always trying to, and I know I may have played a little part into this, and I'm proud of that. I got her into foods a little bit more, and now she's like, eating on a, she calls it eating on a dime. And the truth of the matter is, for like $1, you can make healthy food per person. And when you go out to dinner now, people used to spend $60 for dinner. It's costing them $100, $110 to go out to eat dinner. All right, now we're talking about a per person plate. That was the comparison I was trying to use. A little slip of the fog as I get older here in life, okay? Plus, I had a hot day on the roof. I did. I had to do a rubber coat method of a roof, but it wasn't rubber. Okay, it was a liquid rubber. So I'm trying this new fortified rubber treatment. Hopefully, care of everybody. You're so. Hey man, always welcome. Joey Too Legit. Did you get that hit down on at the Highland Park Bridge, brother? How are you? Joey Too Legit. All right, this kid's out of Pittsburgh. I want to tell everybody about this kid just for a quick minute. He does Toes for Toys for the children every Christmas, and he's a rock star, okay? Keep him in mind if you have anything, if you're local to PA or you just like to do something, reach out to him. I'm not joking with you. This guy will take toys to children's homes. He doesn't care. They load up tractor trailers, flatbeds, dump trucks. It doesn't matter. If it's a truck, they want to take all these kind of cool stuff to the children. Santa Claus comes along with them, and every child gets a toy. So never forget that. Also want to keep a big shout out to Wildly Wild 21 because they have all these other great product lines of healthcare products. And maybe they even have something that you can reach out for that's great for children if we get into this shortage as strong as it seems to be, as apparent as it's coming. But it's got to blow your mind when, I get a heads up from Cat in Congress, and they have intel information sending pictures back that has baby formula on pallet loads coming into the border for Mexico. I mean, what the how do you not want to swear? I mean, come on. I know a lot of you girls will get mad at me and you'll be like, I gotta have to pray for you. I get it. But yeah, I mean, look, we have something good here, they throw it right back at us, and that's how it works. But these, now let me get into this. Hey, good evening, sir. Damo, where's is Damo's in here? Uh oh, good. Damo must have got it. Okay, clean up at the bridge. That was a, and not to hold everybody up from what I'm talking about here, but just for a quick minute, that thing was just hit the other night, and now a car goes into it. It wasn't even prepped for another accident. So that thing's probably demolished. He probably gets a good tow out of it. I don't know if it'll be fixable, but and then it's on its side. Route 28 is a disaster anymore. It's just nuts what's going on in America, all over the place. A lot to talk about. Really, we have a lot to talk about. Billions going to Ukraine. We should own Ukraine. We should own Ukraine. I mean, look, no one's given permission. That's the sad part. We put these people in these offices to look out for our best interests, and they're just shoving it right up our, where it's going. And I'll just put it to that mildly. Lockheed Martin to send more military goods to Ukraine. Now, Lockheed Martin is a high-tech military industrial complex kind of like division business, okay? And of course, we outsource things in our government to certain types of businesses and places, whether it has to do with satellites and Elon Musk and different things like that. But they're in preparation now to send millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of, we deplete our military, build them one. And not only while you're building it, deplete our economy, deplete our bank account, our governmental bank account, with disruptional deliveries of funds to a country that we shouldn't have nothing to do with. But when you're in bed with people, and I mean when you're deep dove in bed with people, this is what we go through. And it blows my mind that we have to deal with life like this. Lovely city of Pittsburgh. Yeah, Fucksburg, as I call it. I mean, what's good about it? Hey, listen, you're good about it. Okay, it's the people. The city, the blood, sweat, and tears. And this is for cities everywhere throughout the whole United States. No matter where you go, you see what man has done. And it's all been by the hands of man, not this leadership bullshit that we're all, no. They got their hands in everything, though. They got their hands in it. They do. So, all right, Lockheed Martin. And why would the media, not throw that at us today to make us feel really good? Like Joe needs to do this. It's necessary. Screw Joe. Joe's already screwed up, right? I mean, we know what that's about. Now, the other thing that really concerns me, because Texas suffered a couple catastrophic issues. Well, they're talking about, and I'm not joking on this. This is coming on levels of concern, and not just because they're saying it, but power shortages and blackouts are expected to come, and they're now being reported in Texas. Just like one of the other aspects. The other day, I'm watching a couple live video clips, and I thought, well, maybe this is old. I don't know if it's real. The following morning, they're showing it on TV. The size of hail was like this, bigger than lemons and limes. No joke. Between lemons, limes, and oranges. So if you can fixate your mind, and I mean, listen, there are so many insurance claims right now. It's mind blowing. So they're letting off the tornadoes, the destruction of the tornadoes a little bit, and now they're going to the hail. Of course, send them isotopes up there. I mean, look, I know you guys, if you're not looking up, please look up and watch what they're doing. And the most scary part about it, which I've been an advocate and been fighting for this forever, is they could spray anything on us. Look at their capabilities. Watch them do it. Watch the sky change, and understand one other thing. Everything that goes up must come down. That's gravity, and guess where it's going? All over you, in your lungs. The animals eat it. We eat animals. It's disastrous more than what you think. A lot of people just haven't woken up enough to understand it. But please look up, watch them. Sun and Dim. It's all been out there. They admittedly say they do it. I posted things on America Disclosing Uncensored because I felt it to be necessary to wake people up even more. And I know some people were following this, but where I'm getting my intel from, and I don't want to say that. How do I say it? Because it is intel, okay? But I have to protect people here. Let's just say that there are smaller radars with airports, okay? Somewhere in my state. They know the pattern of planes get changed to keep these planes up there active spraying all day long. And remember, we have 1,500 planes doing the United States of America all day, every day. So 24/7 in some cases. It just depends how they want to utilize this against us. Terry Anderson just mentioned me in a comment. My brother from another mother down in Texas who's invited me down here. I think they want me to speak at this big thing coming up. And I do want to thank you for the invite, however that. Well, there he is, Terry. I need you on my platform, brother. I do. And last night, man, I even mentioned you a little earlier. Your show last night was incredible. You're always so informative. You're a patriot. This guy is a patriot to the patriots of America. Patriots at large are because they are what they claim to be. They are the largest congregation of Americans that we have. And Terry goes on. He does prayer services. He does food for people if they need. It doesn't matter. He goes in support of the issues at the wall, the border problems. Terry's been everywhere. He promotes and tries to find good people who are running and can run for an office to get them in to make this world change in a better way. So Terry, you get the rock star award, man. You really do, man. You are amazing. You are amazing, and I thank you for being my friend. I really do. I most humbly mean that. Jeremy, oh man, there's another one of my good friends, Jeremy. He just did this major show. Jeremy, if you want to put anything up, feel free to use the platform to do it. You guys all remember the conflict and stuff about a so-called governor and some things that they try to abduct her and so forth. Well, this is a really, really good show. And he had the key element. He was lucky enough. This show should have been on Tucker and Hannity and the rest of them. Truly, but he was lucky enough to do it. And he is a rock star. He's a warrior of the 10. He's been on my platform here. Give him the best support that you can, because these are the guys right here, Terry, Jeremy, myself, that are out here trying to fight for America, because we need America great. We don't need dirt kicked in our face every damn day of our lives. However, remember, we're going to do it. They're going to do it. And we're going to have to fight it back. We don't have a choice. There is no choice to the matter. And I want to say this clearly to everybody. Have your eyes everywhere. Like, let's say you couldn't get in to do any volunteer work or get hired in these polls for the 2022 upcomings and so forth. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to say, keep your eyes everywhere. Due diligence. Be there. Be strong. Be watchful. Videotape it. You have the rights to do a lot of things, especially if you're on the inside. If you're the ones lucky enough that was creative enough in your mind to say, I want to make a difference, and you got in there. And I'm not saying that everybody's life's different. We all can't be in one place. I get that. But it doesn't mean that we can't be observant. It doesn't mean that we can't be at the front door, peacefully stand around, hold our signs, vote, hold them up high. Who you want people to vote for. And if they ask you why, explain to them why, because maybe not everybody understands the difference between good and bad and evil. And this is where we are and what we're living in. All right, let me get back to these COVID pills, because actually I could go back and forth on here. Hello, every good person on here. That was a very nice comment. We all are trying to be good people. We're just angry and disappointed in how the operation and the fundamentals of America have let us down. And this is why I come on here and I try to talk as strong as I can. So if you are just joining in, this is Studio 10 o'clock talks. This is the part that I love the best. And listen, I didn't lie when I started this out a year ago saying America in crisis. I'm just saying, I've tried to fair warn the issues to come the best ways that I thought I could. And it disappoints me to have to talk about this, to be perfectly honest with you, but we have to stay, awake. We have to stay aware, and we have to fundamentally be creative on how we can reverse this entire narrative. True. That's what we need to do. Freezer shortages all over America. So you guys are paying attention to some degree. Now, I get why that's happening for sure. I don't know what's up with the generators, but I know freezer shortages. I've been hearing it from people. They went to get them. They're on back order. They're talking about 90 days. They're talking about come fall, we're going to have 100 million sick with a new variant. So they're conditioning your mind to prepare yourself. That's the only thing I can tell you. So get the generator, get the freezers. Maybe you do want to go to solar panels on your home. And maybe Elon Musk is actually right when he says, and I think he used Utah as part of his curriculum here. He said, all we need is a quarter of the state and we can power the whole entire United States of America. A quarter of the state, which is desolate ground anyway. There's nothing there. Like he said, nobody's using it. But if we did this, he said, just with solar panels alone, we could power America. Okay. I don't know. Maybe he's got a little bit of Tesla born into him, but his theories aren't wrong. And I'm not trying to put him on a good side or a bad side. You be the judge. Don't judge me. I won't judge you. I'm just putting out the information the best way I can to keep everybody, awake. Here's something that might wake you up. Okay. No, stock market's crashing. Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies, they're all bullshit. Okay. They're failing. 700 dropped before the opening of a bell this morning. Yet that's not good. 401ks are going disastrous, especially if you filled out that piece of paperwork at the beginning. You're going through, well, where do you want most of your money to sit and how do you want it to be used as we make investments for you? And you can fill it out. Most people like me, I went with stocks, to be honest with you, because I'm figuring maybe they're watching the right way. I don't know. But the bottom line is this. America on every level right now is being affected. And if you're not affected in this moment, look at your 401k. I'm sure it will speak for itself. Okay. But listen, the dollar store stocks are going through the roof right now. Why? Because people are starting to pay attention and be a little bit more aware. And I'm not embarrassed to say I go to them. Yeah, it's not the same product. The shame as it is, maybe it's coming from China. I don't know, but I see a lot of Taiwan, influence on little stickers. But look, I mean, when it comes to the buck and you only have what you have and you're living in an economy now where it's costing you hundreds of dollars more a month to live, let's face it, rents have gone up pretty much across the board. $400 to pay rent, and then you have to sign a lease paying an additional $400 now. All right, that's just one. So you're up $400 there. Then you have your gas. Okay, which used to be like, maybe $50 is now like 70. All right, so every time you know what I mean? It's not getting any better. Then go through the food stores. And the fact that they're allowing people to gouge, and they are. Look, I go and buy part supplies and different things, and I seen it. I used to be able to buy a 10-foot section of PVC for like, I don't know, it was like $14, $12.99. It was $45. I mean, hello, this is not something that you needed an outsource for. That could, there's some things in America that we even need answers to. But, our state representatives can't get enough done because there's so much on the table. Okay. There's just so many complaints, all of us calling it, and don't ever stop calling them. Make them do their job. We put them there for that reason. All right. So the dollar stores are going up. Buy cheaper. Look, it's logical. Take the kids out for an hour. Go to the dollar store. You'll probably spend $50 less. They'll have fun. They'll pick out some even if they're throwaway items in the long run. At least you're with your child. You're engaging. You're out in the beautiful sunshine, partial sunshine that you can receive. But at least it's starting to warm up in the Northeast some. It's starting to get, hey, today was beautiful. I joke not with you. It really was. And for the early part of the day, the sun was not being restricted. I felt every ounce of the energy that it was giving off because I do truly believe in the energy of the sun and what it does for us and our bodies. And believe it, sit in the sun, get them extra vitamins that come from a different measure of way. We know it's true. But, anyway, you guys know what you got to do. I talk about that all the time. So the job market is doing great, but for who, you must ask. Okay, but they're saying that the increase last month was 428,000 jobs that got added in April. They got added. Now, I don't know if they got added or that's part of the Build Back Better. I want to really use the F back better. You know what I mean? Because that's how it comes back. So I don't know if the statistics of those numbers are actually functional and factual, but I'm just giving to you what the news is. So stupidity spending still sits within the White House, trillions of dollars, okay, with no returns, and nothing better, no betterments done to make a difference for the United States. When you really look at the overall view, trillions of dollars. We have the worst economy. It's going to turn 41 years. They say it's at 8%, and I say you're a goddamn liar. Every one of you people are a liar that come out and say that, because prices have doubled. I mean, look, even a candy bar went up to like $1, which is nuts. It's nuts. But this is where we are, and that's the other thing. Shrinkflation. Same price, half the product, few ounces less the product, just depends who you're dealing with. And speaking about baby food that I brought up earlier, I really think this is important. That idiot up there named John Kerry up in Washington, he's been around. Well, Heinz Baby Foods, okay? Heinz, this is a big name in Pittsburgh, okay? Senator Heinz, you might not remember him. I'll get a little background. He was a senator for, Pittsburgh. He's a representative. He died in a plane crash. Mysteriously in ways. Highly controversial? No. But I do have some questions regarding it. The other things I have, my questions regarding it go to, what the hell did Mrs. Heinz ever see in John Kerry? Well, you might want to look into that. Might have been some la, 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 la. Anyway, but nevertheless, all right, so they own this. And guess who does the deal breaker on that deal? Berkshire Hathaway does a co-op, okay? A corporate co-op where they combine the energy of two huge companies, the other one being Kraft, the head of the bioengineering platform. And hey, be very careful about your Hershey products, Mars products, and all that stuff too. They're bioengineered. Look, and they don't give you any detailed information. Read the fine print, especially on the M&Ms, the little mini ones. I had them in front of me one day. I'm eating them because I used to like them. I'm diabetic, but every once in a while, your body's good to have a little bit of sugar. And I start reading this thing, and I posted pictures about it. The words bio is being used on a lot of our food product labels. Okay, so this is how deep the penetration and the narrative was being created to be thrown at us. Okay, they're shoving it down our throats. It's not just throwing it back in our face; they're shoving it down our throats. We don't have to accept it, but we have to stay smart to all the information. And that's truly what I feel about it. Okay. All right. So police shortages in New York, also in Chicago. Two of the, wow. I mean, how do you even, these places are disasters. There's shootings every night, police getting injured. They're dealing with everything from shoplifting to thefts, fire bombings. I mean, just stuff that's not making the news. Okay. And they can't get police. There's a shortage because police don't want to tolerate it. And the ones who are there are just hoping to God they can come to a date of retirement or in some way make peace of some kind of early buyout with army time and whatever some of these divisional union contracts allow them to do. And people just want to get no more work. They don't want to do it. They don't want to be a cop. And we need police. We need police. If you watch the news every day, even local, and I don't even like my own local news, 2, 4, 11, 53, they all suck. I mean, to tell you the truth, they give you some of the gist, but the truth of the matter is they're toys, they're puppets, even there. Just like Joe's a puppet, as people have said, they're all puppets. They're reading a description, the same descriptions that are going worldwide, globally, everyone having the same problems, same issues. But Joe Obama says he can fix the economy. So, all right, to me, that's another setup and plan to come. Let's get the economy to where it looks so bad, and we'll probably send them a stimulus. Some states now have billions of dollars from Trump. If they don't use it, it goes back to guess whose hands? Biden's, okay? Joe Obama's. Obama and Biden, Joe Obama, that's who they are. It comes back. Well, some states are actually saying now they are going to go forward and they're going to send people out checks that may be $1,000, $1,400, $2,000. It depends upon the ratio of what your earnings are, but everyone will receive one. Let's hope that that does come because people could use a buck right now, especially as they're digging to the bottom of their pockets. Okay, so one of the other things that blows my mind, and I talked about this before anybody ever did, and it never got enough talk. The University of Pitt, University of Pennsylvania. There's a lot to be in bed with here on the things that they deal with. Okay. And it has to do with Roe versus Wade and more. But the bottom line is this: some years back, China even gave the Penn State University $67 million. China. What the hell is China giving a college $67 million for? Well, when you look into the curriculum of what they were doing, they were selling body parts. They were in exploratory DNA structural things. I'll get into that deeper, but now's not the time for it. I thought what tonight was the time for was to let you know that Biden's on the page with it at 67 million freaking dollars. Okay. Unreal. China providing money to it. You look, these people don't give anything unless they want something back from it. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. It really does. All right, where am I going here? Where am I going? Oh, the bees. Yeah, that's the other thing. People now who farm with bees, they have the beehives. They're creative. They put the boxes out there. I couldn't do with that, man. I used to be able to get stung. It didn't bother me. Now I get stung. It's like a reverse thing. So I can blow up. My whole face will be like, I need a drink. It's no cigar and whiskey tonight. It's all coffee. Let me just check in here and say hi to a few more people that entered in. Joe Fox, how are you, brother? Rihanna, how are you? It is, and honestly, was never part of the Constitution. Look, our Constitution says that we can be free. Our Constitution says that we can fight for what's right. There's a lot in the Constitution. We could talk about it till we're blue in the face. The problem is no one's observing the Constitution anymore and what it stands for. And that's the saddest part. I would love to do that, Sir Michael. I don't know what you mean. I'm saying things, so when I see a comment like that, I can't always connect. I'll have to read through it, listen to it. I will observe what it means, and I'll give you a heart or check, And do me a favor, man. If you could share this on your page, it would be wonderful. If you feel you have enough patriots to accept us, because we need to do this and fight together to stay strong in America. I didn't want to even when I started hearing about baby food and those types of games. I wasn't waiting till Friday night. I just couldn't wait till Friday night, man. Wednesday couldn't even have been here soon enough. I came home from work and I thought to myself, I just got to talk tonight because I'm so upset when you go after certain things and how do these narratives not all fit together? They always fit together. I mean, come on, we're up against this. They're hiring these clonies to go out there. They're paying them money to show up, to cause havoc. They're going to Supreme Court justices' homes. There's laws about that part. The same as that there are laws about what we saw in the 2000 horses. I'll just say it like that to you. So there's a lot of people going to go down over that release. I guarantee you, there's a lot of people going to go down. Will things happen to every one of them? We can only hope so. Wishful thinking, right? Because it really is going to depend upon who, what, where, when, and how, and who's been bought. But we do have that going for us. Excuse me. I need another drink. I hope everybody had a great day. Just to go off for one quick second. I hope everybody had a great day. They have diluted the Constitution. So yeah, you're absolutely correct. They really did. And you know what? I have this is not a lie. I've actually brought this in front of a camera with rubber gloves, and I have one of these papers, these documents. So if you want to know how patriotic I am, I have one of the originals. No joke. I do. And I wouldn't give it up for the world. It can burn in the fire before I would give it to anybody to hang in the wall, because I know I could protect it. And I know I could find somebody else who could protect it better than me. And I would like to see it continue in life that way. But I actually have it. And it's so frail and fragile. It's the right paper. It's all real. I've taken pictures of it and so forth to try to share it out to people so they could see a little bit about who I was, the things that I do. I can't make a comment to that last question. But I like how you spelt my name. Michal. They have. That's French, isn't it? Or is it parlez-vous français? I don't know. It's one of them, right? Um, Look around the room, be observant. Maybe you can tell me. Look around the room, be observant. I don't like to answer questions like that. Um, because I might give some things up about some people who I may know or may not know that maybe want to do this for America. It was the push. Probably like I got a push kind of like different, way, way different, like Trump did about running for president. I only got the push to come on here to be able to talk to people and to like share, the truth of information. Let me just say this to anybody who really wants to know, who am I? I'm a citizen journalist. That's what I do. I'm not a professional at nothing, but I'm a voice for America. And when I joke, when I say I'm the new voice of America, I'm just joking with that. But you guys have made a very incredible platform for me. And I thank you all for that, truly, from the bottom of my heart. I really do. All the work of the girls, I mean, April, Data Lady, Red, Beth, Twiggers, I mean, just so many. Lucy, Vivian, I don't like to say her name wrong. All right, let me get back to some of these other narratives. With these heavyweights are pushing on strong arming the courts. So we do have jurisdictional laws that could prevail for people, but they're not even coming to the scenes with buses to arrest these people. The police are afraid to put their hands on them, so they're not causing havoc wherever it's needed to be. But one of the things here, and this is a theory that I have. My theory is I really believe the left dropped this. I think it came from the left. Okay. They're saying, oh, it probably came from a constituent. He was in the wrong place, probably doing the wrong thing with somebody, and they took it from him. It was, possibly that could exist. But I really think that they did this because they needed this narrative to work for them because they want to see us in harm. Okay. This is not about Roe versus Wade 1973 anymore. This is about Roe versus Wade 2022. Excuse me. God, am I that far off today on dates? I am. See, I'm not a professional. Roe versus Wade 2022. So, all right, so we're going through all this. To me, I think they planned it. I think they planned to have this because, and now baby food shortages. What does it all come back and say when we think about this? Okay, what was the medication? What was the Frankensteiner all about? We were hearing from Dr. Tenpenny, Dr. Von Bosch. Oh man, hundreds of doctors now and virologists and people coming forth saying that these actually can depends upon which one you get, though. I can't remember which one it was. Sterilization of the young. All right, don't feed the babies, make them suffer. I mean, what's the push? It's life. It seems like the Georgia Guidestones are actually correct. When you look at everything and the demands that they want, and then the right that they even want to take a baby after birth, up to 6 weeks, and can do what they want with the body by the mother just signing the paperwork. It's a destruction of numbers of humanity. And that's truly what it is. It's an atrocity. These freaking people are toxic beyond words that we are capable of. Even the words that I would like to use are not going to be practical because, I have a lot of people who are Christian, religious, and they don't like to hear me swear a lot, but it makes me mad. But when you fit the narratives together, it's like a depopulation method of plan. And that's exactly what they're going for. They're going for it. And they give billions away, and our economy is making us pay. So what are they doing for the American people? They're destroying it. They're destroying every one of our faculties of family, love, health, and vibrancy. Okay. They're just taking it from us. And not only that, they're creating a social anxiety that's blowing the mind of people. And it's so big, like cognitive dissonance, where the truth is so big, people are unwilling to accept it because the lie seems more plausible. The lie has to be correct. It can't be false. How could the lie be false? The truth is actually so huge. Come on. We're not talking UFOs here. We're not. If you haven't woke up by now, you probably never will. But if you have, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And, we can only do what we can do, America, by sharing more information out to everybody who needs to hear all this information. Pro life. That's who I am. That's all I'm about, man. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. There were pro-life offices. Okay. And I was working. I'm hearing it on an AM thing so I could pick up some information. They were firebombing these offices. Pro-life offices in certain states were being firebombed. I mean, come on, we're being targeted right down to the children. It's mind-blowing. It's more than mind-blowing. Let me go over some of my notes. Oh, yeah, the big thing. Adderall and fentanyl mixtures. All these illegal drugs that are now coming in, controlling the narrative of our country. This is the other part of the attack on our children. They're still weak in the mind. There's the bullying thing, and there's the peer pressure thing. And then there's my foot up your ass, parents. Talk to your children. Kids are dying, and the numbers are huge. Even here where I am in what we'll call it Fakesburg, okay? Because it's so fake. It really is. The truth of the matter is people are overdosing constantly. But the fentanyl is now being found in Adderall. These are coming out of Mexico, pharmaceutical narratives of MS-13 and a few of these other organizations who now, because they're being supported by an administration in Washington to do whatever they want, to whatever, just bring all this stuff in that you can. Well, walk-ins across. And they're still allowing. Look, I said this and I felt bad for saying it, but I felt it was a truth. When Canada did what they did with the trucks, I was like, hey, that's pretty impressive. These guys are rock stars. They're going to fight. Maybe they'll make something happen. Were there really any changes? They're still there protesting. Nothing's really happened different. Then we do this big thing, trucks across America, different type of convoy. And I says, wouldn't we get as much done if we just sat at home and didn't turn the truck on and just said, we're not delivering nothing? But they did it, and I supported them. And I really wish they went to the wall. Because they would have made the difference here. They truly would have made the difference. I'm just saying, and I'm not against what they did. I love them to death for doing it and for putting, all the energy that they did. But it made no effect. We're still where we are. There's no change. As a matter of fact, it's costing these truckers, what, $7 a gallon for diesel fuel? If you have a 100-gallon tank, what is it? $700. Some of these trucks carry 250 gallons in fuel. So they're near what? $1,600 to fill up their truck, $1,700, $1,800. That's impressive. Then you wonder how that compiles back on everything. And look, Biden has no cure for this. Yes, he does. He ain't going to give it to us. Biden's not about to do anything for us. Today, someone asked him, should you resign? And he said, maybe I should. That's the truth. All right, this came from a factual reporter. Maybe he doesn't like where he's at. Maybe he's so deep into this crap, like the WHO, who wants a control narrative over the United States of America, where they will decide if there is a virus bad enough to put us into a lockdown. They supersede our own government and our own executive order of a president. I mean, what the frick? They're giving our country away. It blows my mind. And it should blow your mind. And it should make you upset. And you should post everything that you can to fight it back. How much longer can they throw us in the Facebook jail? I mean, the truth of the matter is, if they continue it, we're going to walk from them and their platform's going to fail. What happened to CNN? What happened to John Lennon? What happened to those idiots up in New York, the two brothers? Okay, I don't want to get into, I'm not going to say their names because they're threatening to sue everybody, but one was a journalist and the other one was a governor. Bye-bye. But nevertheless, there's also an infant clothing recall. Imagine that. Finding clothes unsafe for children to have on. Unsafe for children to have on. I've never in my life, I'm going to be 63. I've never in my life have heard about a child clothing recall. Maybe it has happened. Maybe my head was up my butt. I don't know. But I'm just saying, how does a child clothing why is the narrative of this so goddamn big right now? It just is. It's that big. Credit card debts. Listen to this, America, because I want you to be penny wise. I really do. $16 trillion the American people are in debt to their credit cards right now for. $16 trillion. In case I said million, it's trillion. Trillion with a capital T. And the interest rates, mind blowing. If the Fed makes the change and it does go through, and it's not going to help the economy, it's not going to help anything level off. It's a narrative of bullshit. Go to investors, sit with them, let them talk to you, find out the real scoop, make phone calls. I do. That's where it helps. But they're going to raise our interest rates through the credit cards. They're going to jack them through the roof, as they did before after 9/11, 19 to 22%. You'll never make a payment on the money. You'll only make the payment on the interest. It will take you freaking years to get out of the debt. So what do? File bankruptcy? Maybe that's what they're looking for. I don't know. I have no clue how that fits that narrative. But that's the place they're going to push people into. And Fannie Mae, another department of this, that, the other of the government, look how many homes they took from people. Look, before this occurs, if you have any money and you can get out of your credit card for a few $100, cut these things up. Cut them up. That's all I can say, because that's your best avenue. If the Fed goes up, we're not going to have victory. They're not doing anything for us. Remember, they work under fictitious numbers, numerologies. The numbers aren't even real. The Fed doesn't even have enough money to put back to pay you all from what the global elites have stolen out of the banks, the ones who own the banks, to cover the $250,000 that they say that they can cover for you. That's why people, if they have 100,000 here, 100,000 there, 100,000, they feel that they're safe. You're safe like they were. Yeah, like they were. How many years ago was that? Think about it. They were lucky enough that they got back 5% of their money that was in the banks. All right. They could do it to us again. And remember, they're the ones that are charging everybody the interest rate. Oh, the mortgage rate will go to 5.5%. While they're giving you a quarter of a percentage point, you're getting a quarter of a freaking percentage point, and they're getting 5.25%. Come on. We're talking hundreds of dollars added on top of a mortgage, and a quarter percent, you're getting the pennies. You're a pay less penny. You're a pay less penny. And look, so the more you allow your money to float, now I know, where do you put your money? How is it safe anywhere? Look, you do your due diligence, man. Do a lot of homework, but do not trust banks. And I know people that went to the banks, tried to move money. Yeah, they want to give you a piece of paper. And you can tell them, I put it in cash. I want cash back because I'm going to make a cash purchase. And the only way the guy will do the cash deal with me is if I show up with my $250,000 that I agreed to pay him. I need my money. Well, we need special permission. It could take a week to 2 weeks, and we have to file for permission and make money arrangements to get it here. That's bullshit. I know, I understand you might not have $250,000. Let's just say that that's the case. Okay, 24 hours used to be what it took to make an arrangement. Not a week to, 7 days to 14 days. No. Anyway, enough with that. Be very, very careful with your money. I don't trust the bank anymore as far as I can throw. We're at a very hard time now where tomorrow, what we know of a cash dollar note could be removed to having any more purposeful use. And if you're at home sitting on $5,000 because you've just been, a saver, that paper could become like old money, no more. And that's the sad part. The things that people work for, having a little bit aside for an emergency. The scenarios are so big here, it's pathetic. Lori Lightfoot. Everybody knows Lori Lightfoot, right? I swear this broad, she thinks she's Capone's granddaughter. And that's not a joke. That's not a joke. She truly thinks she came from who was once the king of mafia and governmental influences. And that's what she thinks she is. Well, she decided that she's going to run for mayor again. I don't see a shot in hell of her getting in, but will the people of Chicago stand up to do their justice for their community and get rid of this woman? And while they're at it, bring her in for irresponsibilities and crimes that she allowed to be committed while she had the reign of the power to do so, because she violated everybody's rights while she was in office. But here, the only way to get out of that is if she can hold the power of the regime of being the mayor of Chicago. I can't believe that she has the bees to do this, but this is her narrative. And she does think that somehow, and I joke not about this when I tell you, she thinks maybe she is related to the guy. I don't know. You look at her. I'm not going to get into that. All right, enough with that part, man. When things don't go their way, COVID will. That's all I can tell you. And that's what's coming in the fall, as they've been telling us. So listen, why do I say that to you guys? The UK Parliament, Prince Charles. So the Queen wasn't feeling up to coming out. She's like 96 years old now. So she still exists, I guess. You know, some people says, oh, this one's dead. Hillary's already dead. This one, nah. You know what? You're not going to take me there. I don't believe that that's true, because, I mean, there's been political people in Washington who have been places where they have showed up and they said they're as alive as, unless they're cloned. I mean, if the truth of the cloning is that you believe in the cloning narrative, I mean, I do know one thing. When Martha Stewart tried to back out of a company, and dodged them because there was cloning involved, she went to jail for it. So I do know that there are companies out there that you can put investments through that are into cloning. However, I don't think that's the scenario here. I just don't see it. So anyway, Prince Charles comes out and speaks for the Queen, and these people dress like there's some godly, better somebody in this world. I mean, you look at them. I mean, what's wrong with a t-shirt and a pair of jeans? You know, they're not on our level. They think that they are so much better than every one of us. It's pathetic. They come on and this entire bullshit, you know, they got on these, whatever the hell, gold. They're probably gold ropes, you know, threads of gold. You know, you can, from gold, make threads of gold. And they what is this shit? You know, what is this shit? And then you got all these morons that were at the Geneva Convention and going there who are trying to promote the take over the United States by the World Health, you know, and blah, blah. That we're not going to allow to happen. I don't know. Hopefully we will. I know January 4th, some of the first documents came out this year, 2022, January 4th. And by just last month, around the 14th or 15th, the paper trail started to really take precedence about, you know, the World Health taking back and doing a control mechanism in the United States where they could make the orders up. And wouldn't that be perfect, where their hands would now be clean? Well, we gave the power of jurisdiction to the World Health. We have to fight this really, really, really hard. I mean, look, we got less than like 2 weeks here at this point. And if they were to get away with that, we would lose our you know, our freedom of the Constitution. We would lose it at that point, because then there would be a narrative of blame that's not coming from within our own United States government and governmental foundation of leadership. It's coming from an outsourced candidate that is part of this whole mechanism of what we just lived through for the last 2 years, which I think most people would say it's a lie. Yes, we had 1 million people die. I get that. Some people got infected. They were weak. They were sick. There was mistreatments in healthcare and more. And that's why I tell you, if your baby's starving, go to the emergency room and they say, well, why are you here? My baby's starving. It needs, you know, or again, please, I want to say this one last time. If you go into America Disclosing Uncensored, it is a group on Facebook. And I think Beth and a couple of the other people that came on tonight, Beetlejuice. Yeah, that's another good comment. Beetlejuice. Can you say it 3 times really fast? Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. You know, come take that Lightfoot away. I don't know. Joe Fox, how are you, brother? Let me just go through here real quick. Jeff Strong. Wow, dude, I haven't seen you, rock star. I hope the Harley's good. I hope you're riding safe and doing everything right. No drinking and driving on a Harley, brother. Just telling you now. I'm not gonna allow that kind of stuff. And Joe, how did you add friends on this damn thing? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Joe Fox. Okay, I get it. I'm sorry. Apologies to everybody. Apologies. All right, man. Yeah, I couldn't resist. Not. I couldn't wait till Friday. I just couldn't do it. So, where was I here? Oh, one of the other things about Lightfoot was in this moment has to call arms also to, and she did. She's shouting out to all her LGBTQ friends for coming out and for supporting and demonstrating and protesting against Roe versus Wade. Okay, so remember that was part of the narrative of what's going on and why now we're getting into this whole new protest, breaking of windows, throwing bottles at police. And I don't know if anybody saw this up in Seattle. They're doing what they're calling some type of damage cleanup, damage control shit. So they're cleaning up all the homeless parks and all the places where the homeless, because they don't want homeless anymore. They have allowed it for so long. So what they're trying to do is create a narrative as to how they can help these people. I don't know if it's all real, but I do know for a fact the police were there. I know that they were shoving people out by force or whatever it took, also assisting and helping them pack up to leave, pushing them out into the community. Now, here's what I see. They're trying to make themselves look good in a couple cities by doing this, and they are. Seattle's one of them. Portland, I think, is the other. And I think it's all to make it, make themselves look good. Like they're going to be giving added credibility by saying that they're helping the homeless vets and the homeless people of America. I say it's like that. It's a roll of the dice, honestly, man. It's mind-blowing. So, yeah, if you didn't hear about this, I do want to say this one last time for everybody. And Jen Woodruff is back in the house. Hi, beautiful Jen. How are you? Dominion, they lost the litigation suit against Mayor Giuliani and Sidney Powell. So just keep that in mind. That's a win-win for us. And remember, the reason why we're seeing a lot of this crap right now is the fact that the laptop is in evidence right now, and an indictment is awaiting a certain party's son in Washington. Best way I can say it. All right, $800 million given from DeSantis to go to teachers. He wanted to make their lives better. He wanted good teachers. He wanted to, the same way he was trying to build his own police force. Come to Florida, we'll pay you better. We'll try to give you bonuses. Be here to serve and protect the community. Just do a good job and be comfortable knowing that I'm a governor who supports you. Well, he does the same kind of method for the teachers. And they're saying it's not enough. $800 million for the state, the complete state. Now, maybe there's just that many teachers. I don't fathom that there are, but maybe they all make $50,000 a year now where they were making less. I don't know. But how do you slap a governor in the face who's done such great things for a state and every community in that state of Florida and bitch about him? Because all they do is bitch about him and try to put him in a place of how bad he is, when the fact is we know if right is wrong, wrong is right. And that's the narrative of how they're going to treat DeSantis. DeSantis is Trump. You get what I'm saying? I mean, they're going to attack him. And that's the fit of the narrative. And everybody's saying Trump and DeSantis, Trump, DeSantis, Trump, DeSantis. We do need a part B. We do need a part C. I would say that. It's 2 years off. Who's to say what's to come? But $800 million, you're a rock star, DeSantis. That's all I'm going to say. But $40 billion more for Ukraine. And again, I say we should own that country. It should be our country. We're buying this country. We are truly buying this country as Russia keeps the footwork moving forward. And of course, there's threats of nuclear. Well, let me tell you something. Nuclear may not be the worst enemy here. It's only a mention of fear, okay, and a fear tactic. And I really believe Putin knows what he's doing when he talks about tactic, because he's really challenging the White House. And listen, whatever Joe says, Joe's got the push of the narrative. They're making Joe look like he's the global leader. And he's not. that was Trump. Joe's the local piece of shit that we have in office. That's all he is. But nevertheless, $40 billion more for Ukraine. They don't even look at the paperwork. They just vote yes. All right. We need to flip 2022, people. Protect the vote. Get to the voting polls. Stand at them in the thousands. Let people know how strong you are about it. If people feel uncomfortable to walk past because they don't like your sign that says vote for DeSantis or vote for Trump or vote for this person or the other person or Marjorie Greene, too bad. And remember, Marjorie's back on the ballot, by the way. Americans are 16. Oh, I told you that. I apologize. All right. So look, one of the other sad cases, the big scenarios here that's going down. And I can't say that it's bad. They're not American made, but they were good cars. I can't take it from them. I mean, Toyotas were really well engineered. Maybe better than some of our American cars, but they're complaining now that their sales has decreased and plunged 31%. I don't really care. I don't. I really don't care. I wish America held together better and unified better with a market of strategy that Trump put in place to keep these people here. But the dollar, the almighty trillions of dollars that, got voted into the hand of these toxic people, promoted money to them to get them out of the United States. So here we are. It's just a bad narrative that's never, to me, I don't foresee at the end either. And look, I don't say this to like bring anybody down or rain on your parades. I say it because I feel it's a truth. And if I get a gut instinct on it, I talk about it, I say it. And I've done that all throughout. I don't want to call this a career, but all throughout the period of time I've been doing it. Just like the censorship online. I mean, do you know that there was 20 million people in America during lockdown that were specifically spied upon? Specifically spied upon. And there was $420,000 for them to just weigh an evaluation as to how people were reacting. Listen, you can't make this shit up because the money's coming from the CDC. It's not a joke. It's true stuff. I had an extra note next to that. Let me see something here. Yeah, $420,000. It was no wait, that was just a down payment. That was just a down payment. And it was paid by the CDC. Now, why did they care? I mean, what is the CDC when you really think about it? What the hell were they spying? I mean, of course, Obama got the ball rolling as to give them the freedom to do whatever they want. They've taken our privacy from us. They know when you're in bed breathing if your phone's on. Okay? I don't know. Can you take a piece of tinfoil and wrap it up at night? Would that help? Would it stop a signal somehow? Is there a way you can SafeNet your phone, shut it off without removing the battery, or can they still ping it and do all that crazy tech? That's what I'm saying. Technology's that crazy, and that's why I fear technology versus nukes, because we know for a fact if you send out 10,000 drones, and it's not hard to make them. Mass production, it's not hard to make them. They got the worker bees doing it because they're not in our country doing it. Okay, they're putting these things together out of our country. And if you use some of the information out of a standard cell phone, which is pennies on the dollar now because there's so many worldwide out there, they can track somebody into a building. Musk has talked about, there's a format of a lot of people. Joe Rogan talked about it with people. Years ago, Rush talked about it. Alex Jones brought it up. And, Alex got a voice, man. He's still out there fighting for the American people. He is. I mean, so this are the things that we have to worry about. Besides hailstorms, tornadoes, fires, blocking the sun, killing bees so we don't have pollination in our gardens and amongst the trees. And remember, that was a narrative that was said a few years ago. The bee thing was already a theory put out there in conditioning saying that the bees are not pollinating. They're just dying off. Don't harm a beehive. The truth is, bees are our best friends. I don't like them. I mean, they can hurt you. They can cause damage to people in bad ways. But without them, our food sources will diminish even more. So floods, the oversaturation of rains that contaminates corns, the facts that we can't buy fertilizers now, and if we do, it's 5 to 6. It was 4 to 5. Now it's 5 to 6 times as much money to buy the fertilizers. So when you're used to riding down the down the road on an old country road, and you used to know that there was a private farmer vendor who grew some of the best corn. I mean, he really had it down pat. I mean, phenomenal. You know what I'm talking about: bread and butter, the sweet Silver Queen, and different types of corns like that. It's mind blowing because they're not going to taste the same. And it's not because they're bioengineered, although they are playing with the seeds. They have technology and preparations and additives. You'll get this pink stuff on them. It's supposed to be like a protective so it protects it and it makes it longer lasting. And it also influences growth once it grows, it gets in the ground and grows. Listen, man, they've been messing with us, but we got to protect the bees. Anybody that's doing bees, go buy their honey. Stay out of the stores, because most of the small, you see these things in the dollar stores and stuff, don't even buy them. It's all junk. It's just junk. It's the worst case of sweetened oils and stuff and thickeners that you could ever imagine. We need our bees, man. We need our bees bad. We need to fight climate. We need to fight, the administration up here harder. We need the footwork. I mean, they're out there putting up fences around everything, because they feel that we're going to come out and attack people, or the protests are going to go this way or they're going to go that way. And like I said, I think the left actually leaked this document. I really think it was a fix. Could it have been the new lady that they got in office? Was this the only man that had this document? Some of the things we don't have all the answers to. Or the possibility was, did they have some of the partial writings? And was that how it happened? Well, we're probably never going to know right now. And when it does come out, we're going to probably be vaccinated by the media and told a narrative that's not true. So how do you weigh the facts on it? It doesn't matter. It comes out, and it's a deterrent to me to try to put pressure on the justice system up there, the Supreme Court justices who have to render a decision and do it fair and fairly, according to law, not 1973, but according to now, 2022. And I hope they weigh in the backs of their minds the facts of our thoughts and our feelings and what they know the United States is going through, and everything that the United States administration and Washington is dealing out to the American people. And, that said, I think I covered pretty much everything tonight for everybody. I hope it made some sense to you. I know it pissed me off hugely. I'm so happy that you guys hung on. I really mean that. Joseph Phillips, how are you, brother? Thank you for joining in to us. Susan, how are you? I also want to say special hello. I have a couple special hellos for people. Latinos for America and Latinos for Trump have been checking me out. Thank you for allowing me into your platforms, into your lives. I know you guys are rock stars. I know you're a true people of America who came here for all the right purposeful reasons. I know you went through all the diplomatic paper, bureaucratic bullshit, but you did it. You succeeded. You were a success. You made America your home. You made America great with us. You're part of us. You're our family. And I love you guys to death for it. And thank you for accepting us into your platforms. I also want to say again to every platform out there and all these admins, hey, man, some of them do turn me down. A lot of them turn down just because they have a different, I don't know why. America's having a major problem here. And everybody's voice should be important, especially yours, especially your values and your points. Try to get me into your groups. I mean, I do the best I can. Get us out there. Keep us strong here at Studio 10, broadcasting 10 o'clock talks. This segment tonight is America in Crisis. And, when I named it a year ago, man, it's because I felt it. But I'm an American man, American boy. I've been in my own American dream. I love it to death. I love you guys to death. Don't ever judge me. I won't judge you. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the support you give me. You make me come back every day when I look at this stuff, and I want to speak to you on it. And I hope it makes some sense. Sometimes there's good theory. Also, if you check me out on some of the other formats, in case you're interested, we have formats in the afterlife, Bigfoot, Dogman, all this other stuff, UFOs, ufology, suppressed history, information, pyramids. And we have some great shows, great guests, documentary people, filmmakers. I can't believe how this platform has grown. And it's all because of your greatness and truth. That is the truth. And the reason I do some of these narratives, because they all correlate now. They do. It's history repeating itself. It's from where we came, from the beginning. It's the spiritual fight. It's the religious fight. It's the evil versus, the good. And, the best I can do is look for all the concrete information that may open our eyes and give us more awareness. I don't care if it's about the Korean Bible. It doesn't matter. The book of creation or the book of the Sumerians. The information's in there. It's things we need to talk about more because they are using these dialogues against us. They are truly doing it. And they suppress all information that they know you deserve to know about because they know what's best for you. They've always known what's best for you. But, it doesn't matter if we're going to choose sides. Our own Republicans didn't make anything better for us. Will disclosure come? We're about ready to find out. Jimmy Church sent a post. I'm in his friend's thing, and he sent this post, and I sent him back comments. And there's some disclosure things coming up that's going to be up in Senate and Congress, whatever. Right now, I'm a little brain foggy and tired from a very, very long day. But nevertheless, these are things that are important to people because let's say it's not true. All you want to know is no. Let's say it is true. That's great. But all you want to know is no. And it doesn't matter what we're talking about. So if you're into some of those things, if you got pissed off about all this overwhelming bullshit and social anxiety crap that they have fed into our minds, I understand why you left to go elsewhere and do other things. We all need that break. And that's one of the reasons I do other portions of levels of shows. But I always reflect that there is a narrative and it's always about the government. You think our scientists are the best people in the world? No, 99% are paid through government grants. So the scientists are government controlled. And that's how it works. They have touched and locked down every aspect of information and truth that we have. They should be paying back parents, millions and trillions of dollars from the educational systems, from I don't care if it was grade school, high school, and colleges, and executive college for master degrees and more, because you've been lied to and manipulated and suppressed. Your education is only 50% accurate by far. And that's giving you the benefit of a high analysis of my theory of point. Anyway, CPS, Rihanna. Hi, hon. Yes. All right. Remember, everyone, please keep an open mind. You're absolutely right. And thanks for including that in there. It's not really about the things that I say push, but I mean, it is about what we think and we feel. And, here's the thing about this platform. I never ask for anything. I don't sell coffee mugs. I don't sell t-shirts. I don't sell hats. I don't make any big promises unless I know I got good information that it's something really important for you to know about. And if it throws me off the airways again, let it throw me off. As long as I can do better for you guys, because you've been so supportive and you've done me nothing but good. And I really do appreciate it. Oh, Ernie, I didn't know you were in. Is that Ernie I just saw? He's somewhere out there, man. He had an amazing story on one of my shows. He had like 2,500 views with me. It was phenomenal. Please check into some of the shows that I do if you scroll down on my page. And also, please do me one other favor if you can. I know Facebook is doing a lot of things to me. They're trying to damage me. They're trying to damage every one of us. I'm not special. We're all special. They're doing it to every one of us. Go on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, please. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me. That way, on a moment's notice in this battle, as we wake up every day to a new beginning of a fight, and I'm not here anymore, there's another way for you to view me. if you can't get me there and they toss me again off there after, listen, man, my viewership was nuts and they destroyed it. And I'm also on Rumble, but I do need to do some uploading. And I'm waiting for the confirmation because they're trying to stop Musk from Twitter. They're trying to stop him. They're saying he violated protocol laws. See, this is how it works. If I want to buy a piece of bubble gum from you, do I need to go down to the mayor's office and fill out an application or some shit in Pittsburgh that gives me a special allowance to buy a piece of I mean, that's what that's like. Hey, Musk. What do I want to say? I'm sorry, I lost my focus there. But I think I wanted to hold on a sec. There's something that weighs in my head. I may not have said it, or maybe I forgot to write it down. Let me see if I see something here real quick before we go off air. I don't know, man. In the shuffling madness, that's what I'm doing right now. Locomotive breath. Run the all-time winner, yeah. Headlong to his death. All right, I don't know. I must to buy something, but I can't remember, but it wasn't because of me. Yep, TikTok. Hey, and Lucy, I'm sorry, Vivian, share me to your page. It was live, sweetheart, and I know you're all over the place. I know you are. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be back on sometime. Oh, Carl, there's a rock star, Pennsylvanian, Harley man, a good friend. He's done a lot of reaching out for me. Hey, Ernie, I want to give you a call in the next couple of days. Find out what days you have off. I'm doing a segment platform thing. I want you to come in on to hang out with me on it. All right. So I'm going to be in touch with you. Probably a couple other guys. We're going to talk shop on some of the topics that we narrate through, and I appreciate it. I'll try to do it on your days off because I want you to be included into that. So just so you know, heads up now, I'm coming for you. Julie, thank you for joining in tonight. Yeah, do you know that? I used to do a lot of music, man. I could play the guitar, drums, and some other bass guitar. I have them both right there. Drums are not in front of me. Yeah. Yeah, I used to enjoy singing and stuff like that. I know it's not for everybody. Sometimes I figure, I should open up with my own songs, but then it might give too much away. But I also want to say this before I go off air. Hello, Uncle Ted and Shemaine. I appreciate you. Hey, if you don't know about the Nugent family, they have a bunch of different things. If we go into a deep dive battle thing, listen, they have a warehouse packed of all kind of different things that can come to your door like within like 48 hours. It's called Wildly Well 21. They're rock star people. Also, we have a really great admin in our group, America Disclosing Uncensored. She has had every mainstream face on her shows, the biggest people out there. Very young girl, beautiful girl, Christina Gomez. She's one of our admins with me. And she's a rock star. And she tries to help the people who aren't doing it quite as well on podcasts and different things. So I just wanted to give her a shout out because she's really doing well. And she's a young person, a very young person. And she's deep diving into all these narratives, getting information, digging up things that are really important for all of us to know about. Does that tell our age? Oh, hey, man, I told you my age. I don't know how old you think I am. Where's Beth? Is Beth still in here? Did she cut out? Scotty, how are you, man? Yeah, I got my Fender acoustic. Why don't you play it, man? We'll hook up. I can do the vocals and I can put on a headset. I like tall too. I like a lot of music. I mean, if you want to know a little bit about Michael, but yeah, I've hung out with some great people in music. I really have. I'm not going to say people be envious. I'm not. I'm just happy that I got to meet some and hang out with them. A lot of good rock stars out there. A lot of us made mistakes. A lot of us didn't. A lot of us are still here to talk about it. But nevertheless, yeah, I've done some other things too. But it's not about me and what I've done. I want to be about all this, the good information. Laugh out, yes, I believe so. I think also That was one of Jethro Tull's. I know they've had a number of really good songs, but I think that was like the rock star song that everybody wanted to play when they did a gig. It's probably one of the reasons I remember it. And if I really thought about it, I probably have the dictionary, the words all in my head. Let's go up the electric. Do you remember that place, Joey? Yeah. Oh, man. The Electric Banana in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was when the hair went green. That was the first time that happened, man. When all the bizarreness of the bands came out. Oh my God, yeah, yeah. Well, what a memory that is. Thanks for memory lane there. Now I know how old I am, and I know I'm older than you, but nevertheless, Scotty, I love mate. I love it, mate. Keep up the good work. Hey, I love you too, brother, and and all the best ways to say it. Hell yeah, as a kid too. Yeah, the Electric Banana. That was like the off the wall music vibe when that was going on like 35 years ago, man, 40 years ago. Geez, wow, time has flown past in my life, and I feel pretty good. I think I'll be all right. But exercise, and I'm going to push this at you. I don't care. Just go out and walk, man, for an hour a day. Try to. It's not that hard, man. You know, just walk. I mean, that alone, an hour a day, and say you all right 3 times a week, whatever, 4 times. Just motivate yourself and try to eat, as healthy as you can. Because you know what, we're in a bad place, man. You got to take care of you. We have very serious issues in our healthcare systems. All right, remember they've made billions, and they're doing nothing to contribute back either in your own communities. Do you know that these healthcare systems and hospital networking systems and these mini pop-up healthcare facilities don't pay a dime in taxes? No, they don't pay a dime, and they got the balls to charge us, $100,000 for a few days in a hospital. Like, you wouldn't have had it if I wasn't sick. So that's what I'm saying to you. Starve them. Take care of yourself. And listen, one of the thing about nature is it's beautiful. Nature's foods identify the objective of what they do for people. If you look at a walnut and you take it out of the shell, it looks like a brain. It's brain food. Listen, it's not a joke. You can look at foods to understand where it works within your body. Nature, this is why bees are so important and all the other the pollinations and different things as well. And that we do our own resources and growth. This is why they don't want us to have lands. This is why these there's actually 3 idiots buying all our property in the United States. Gates, China, and the one big real estate tycoon. But anyway, so they're all doing it, and they're trying to kill the harvesting of the animals. Good thing the farmers got together, raised enough money to where they're still able body enough. But you know what? They're going to be attacked on every level. They're going to get the health department, the EPA. They're going to get everybody and their mother into these farms that are out there raising cattle, getting them, prepping them for a good harvest for the American people to have beef and resources. But no, their idea is to say, the pollutants came this way. When we were in lockdown, they said our air quality was never so bad ever before. And they blamed it on all the delivery services that had taken place. Now, you're going to tell me delivery services like Amazon, FedEx, UPS, and, some people in their cars doing Dash Go, whatever they call picking up food, delivering it. There were more cars on the road back then polluting the skies. Are you bullshitting? Who do you think you're bullshitting? Listen, when we're in full operating capacity and we're all working without mandates, there's many more trucks on the road, cars on the road, vehicles, bikes, etc., etc. I don't want to hear about your new electrical energy, new Green Deal, because it's failing everywhere, and you guys know it is. But it's just how it is. BlackRock, Vanguard, yes, definitely. But their money's in everything. That narrative's all over the place, as well as the money in Ukraine. Ukraine's not broke. Ukraine's controlled by the not by Biden, by the way. Listen, when those idiots all came out at George Floyd's uh, funeral, whatever the hell thing it was, they all knelt down. You remember the big nail? Every one of them had on the yellow and blue. Kazarian Mafia, the richest people on some of the richest people on the planet, besides the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and Soros doesn't even he doesn't even come into that narrative of wave. He just doesn't even come in. Soros was a little freaking prick, okay? He happened to know somebody when he was young. He was penniless. They gave him his wealth. They gave him his wealth because they liked how vindictive he was. He was tested in his neighborhood by somebody that had clout, power, and they told him and instructed him to do a few things, and he enjoyed doing it. He enjoyed doing it like he enjoys doing what he's doing now. And this was in an early part. Remember, he's older than I am, and I'm older than dirt. Okay. But he didn't care if he hurt people and put them into their graves. He helped them where their narratives were necessary to have help. And they made him rich and wealthy from it. They made him rich and wealthy from it, besides everything that he could steal. And he did that as well. He did that as well. But you're right. Vanguard, BlackRock, and there's one other one that even stands in that platform. But like I said, even when you look into the baby food products and stuff, when you look at the narratives out there, John Kerry's married to Heinz baby food people. Mrs. Heinz, Senator Heinz' widow. Yeah, narrative around that too. And what hasn't been a narrative around focus points of different things. Anyway, they buddied up with Kraft. Berkshire Hathaway put the deal together for them. Look, I'm in Pennsylvania here. I don't know what they have in Pittsburgh. I'll do some homework to let anybody know. But remember, there are some good posts out there. Some of the girls, we should own Ukraine, Jen. We just bought it. We just bought it, sweetheart. We just bought it. And hey, listen, didn't I tell you 3-4 months ago this was heading to this type of scenario? When we talked, I was on the show with Jen. We were talking one afternoon. I'm painting walls the whole time I'm on the show. And they bring me in live, and I'm interjecting thought and conversation and whatnot. But we talked about it, and it was. I love the fact that people have enough respect for me to ask me some of my thoughts on things, and my narratives, I guess, were pretty accurate because here we are, and believe in the unbelievable, because we're not even a third of the way through this yet, and 2022 can make a critical change. It can make a critical change for us. All we need is the right number of the right people in the right places. We have bad on both sides. The left is completely awash. The left is completely awash. And on the right, there's a good third of them that should be, disbarred, thrown from the Congress, the Senate, and everywhere else that they're involved, and eliminated on this planet. They don't even deserve our air. They don't even deserve our air. And when we talk about these narratives of Roe and Wade, I'm sorry, Roe versus Wade, 1973. These pricks get out there and they talk this crap. But take the air from their lungs. Test them. Take the air from their lungs. And they'll understand the value of life when theirs is subjected to ending. I guarantee you. You guys have a great night. Love you all to death. I see the Ukraine refugees, and I don't know if I'm watching the news or a Burlington Coat Factory commercial. They are all dressed better than my kids. You know what? I'm seeing them everywhere in my stores in Pennsylvania too, man. I really am. And look, when I said a long time ago that I believed there was more in the millions, I guess I'm going to get validation out of that because now Trump finally said it's into the millions. Why? They were using our own military to bring people in. This administration was using our military as a private industry of a narrative and the taking down of America and destroying our integrity of what it stands for. If you want to be an American, fill out the paperwork, go through the process. The problem in America is we need a piece of paper that says if you fuck up America, we can throw you out. We don't have it. That's the saddest part about this right now. half of Washington would be out somewhere floating in the middle of the ocean. Thanks, guys. I'm sorry I swore. You know, I'm just in that place sometimes. Have a great night, guys. Talk to you guys soon.